Bada big, bada bang. Bada bang, bada boom.
I'm Vicki Abelson. Every month I say, this one was the best, and I'm saying it again. It was amazing.
Hi, my name is Gigi. And I'm Cindy. And we are Women Who Write!
Gigi was fantastic. Cindy was fantastic. Fred was amazing. Bill was hysterical. His songs were fantastic. It was an amazing day. And we were packed to the rafters. There were almost 60 women in the living room. And there was a tremendous sense of community today. Somebody was saying to me, maybe it's because we haven't met all summer, but everybody seemed to be particularly warm. We had a bunch of new women here from our new meetup group.
I'm an emerging screenwriter and hoping to become a TV writer, and I was so surprised and delighted to find Vicki's invitation in my meetup. So I decided to say yes and drive from San Diego up here to join the group, and it has been a transformative afternoon.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Long, and I have performed here at Women Who Write. I've been coming here for a couple of years now, and it is the greatest. Vicki is a magnet.
I'm done with the complaining. I'm done with everything from lap because I'm just inviting more of it to myself. Yeah. So the new thinking is, yes, I'm happy. Life is wonderful. I'm abundant.
You have a great rap.
Oh, and the other thing, I did this for my mother. Do you notice? One necklace. One necklace. My mother always says, when my mother sees me, tasteful, which is so me. When my mother sees me, she always says, are you wearing every piece of jewelry you've ever owned?
Bill Berry is a friend of mine, and he was magnificent as I knew he would be.
The shirt, it's meant to be a Hebrew word on Yom Kippur. It's fitting. Okay, so as we were talking about Bill, at the exact same moment, I get an email from Tara of Shelby Teague and Tara telling me that she's in this contest in Korea and she will not be here. So I'm thinking this happened for a reason. It's the shirt. Bill should be with us today.
Well, I found her in the phone book between physicians and picture frames. She showed up wearing parachute pants. Her hair was gray and pixie cut, had a cowlick sticking up. The t-shirt said, Viva la France. The one on the left was looking straight at me, but the other one didn't even try. Let's take a peek at that old upright, see what we can see. Said the piano tuner with the lazy eye.
I love Gigi. She's so bold, and I love that Vicki Abelson would say that Gigi makes Vicki not look snarky on Twitter. I gotta get on her Twitter account.
I decimate every neighborhood I move into. They love me in Malibu Colony at the starter wife. Yay! There's that bitch. So this is Santa Monica Brentwood, which if you've ever been there, there's I mean, I keep trying to not write about them, and they keep coming back. And, I mean, one yoga class, and you've got all you need for right?
Cindy Chupack, Sex and the City, Modern Family, and then she's going to read to us and be really honest about what it's like to be on a book tour and how her expectations were one thing and the reality was something quite different.
Cindy wrote on Everybody Loves Raymond. That's right. Fred was in Everybody's Loves Raymond. Fisher! I'm telling you, everything is Fisher!
I used to be known as the writer from Sex and the City who wrote a book. Until two other writers from Sex and the City wrote a book. Called He's Just Not That Into You. And then I became known as someone who actually knows the people who wrote He's Just Yes. At the same time that single women around the world, and I mean every single woman, realized thanks to that book that her relationship was not going as well as she thought, I realized my book sales were not going as well. Apparently people were just not that into my book. They liked it as a friend. Some even loved it, but it wasn't the one. Last time I checked my book, the Between Boyfriends book, a collection of cautiously hopeful essays, was number 75,314. And I did get some press. I even got interviewed on the Today Show, which seemed like a giant coup until He's Just Not That Into You was an entire episode of Oprah.
There's so much authenticity that is in these rooms, people who are honest and brave.
It didn't take long for the freeze to find its way home. Lenny was out in the cold, and it was following him everywhere. For the most part, hollering was strictly business. On the occasional night when Lenny could make him laugh, he'd come home so joyful. Those nights were infrequent and dwindling. Lenny was feeling smaller and smaller. It didn't do much for his self-esteem or his temper. Being snapped at all day perpetuated his behavior at night. The only comfort Lenny got was from the old Mary Jane and the computer. Losing ground with hollering was killing his ego, his heart, and his soul. It didn't do much for our marriage either. I lost him to the computer, the pot, and the sadness. Thanks.
Willard read part of his new screenplay. It was hysterically funny. Waiting for Guffman is one of my favorite movies of all time, so to get to meet him was incredible.
Phil Rosenthal created Everybody Loves Raymond. Fred Willard was on Everybody Loves Raymond. I met Fred Willard at Phil Rosenthal's. The shirt. I'm just saying.
My time is almost up. So when Vicki asked me to come here and read, I wasn't sure what she meant. I'm a good reader, and I have so many favorite stories and so many books, and I said, wait a minute, maybe I should read something that I wrote. What will it be as interesting as these great books and short stories? I have a friend who's a musician. His pet peeve is when he sings a song, people say, is that a real song or is that just one you wrote? I'm going to read a few excerpts from the first couple of scenes from it. I don't know what it's going to be called. It's going to be called maybe Iron People or Triathlon. I asked my manager if this is a good idea, and he said, yeah, go ahead, do it. He's a good manager. He manages me and an apartment building on Sepulveda.
It was a great experience, as it always is, and this is probably the best part. You should be filming this because this is when we take a break and everybody comes together and creates collaborations and community with each other, which is one of Vicki's missions. So I'm really grateful. I love you, Vicki.
It was just an all-star audience in addition to the all-star readers. Lee French here, A Little Tea with Goldie from The Smothers Brothers was here, and Tracy Newman from Emmy winner from Ellen, and Lynn Stewart from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and comedians Wendy Lehman and Kathy Ladman. I mean, it was just an amazing day. I feel so blessed. Every time I think about taking it out of my living room, we have a day like today, and I'm like, no, this is where it belongs. It's just, there's something very special about this. So we're going to supplement it. We're going to do things outside of here also, but we've got to keep this going.
Bada bang, bada boom, a ring-a-ding-a-ding-ding. Bada boom, bada boom, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, boom, boom. You gotta be a loyal soldier. That's what the family's all about.
Fantastic was the only word I can use. After the first song, I felt like it was in Staples Center.
Now once you're in with the family, there ain't no getting out. You gotta show proper respect. You gotta do what you are told. Nobody messes with the family. The territory or they gold. And if they do, they will be sorry. They'll wake up pale, sipping cold. Bada bing, bada bang. Bada bang, bada boom. A ring-a-ding-a-ding-ding. Bada boom, bada boom. Bada bing, bada bang. Bada boom, boom, boom. drugs and